like
Save our planet! Gabby? Yes, we do.
There's seemingly a large chunk of people. Justice! Now! Justice! The biggest one I ever remember is a
What's your website? Yeah.
I would just walk out. I don't care.
I'm not even old enough now.
Fuels have got to go. Planet B.
There's no planet B. There's no planet B.
Climate change. System change.
Boris, Boris, Boris! Out, out, out!
Unite and fight. Workers and students. Unite and fight. Unite and fight.
Fossil fuels are
people know why we're here. When our planet's under attack. Under attack! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! When our planet's under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Die down anyway, isn't it?
Just keep coming round, please, because there's loads of you.
You're right.
A lot of people still coming in. I can see the walls still, so please all move round. Round. Again, there is a lost pouch from the march. That's going to be the anti-fracking tent, which is directly by the entrance to John Lewis. And if there are any lost children on the march, your parents will be waiting for you again at the anti-fracking stand by John Lewis entrance. Now, in order to give you please make as much noise as possible. day today about now. Thank you very much. My name's Sabrina. I'm a student with Youth Strike for Climate who have arranged this whole thing with help from other organisations. I would like to thank the support of the Trade Union Council, Sheffield Climate Alliance, Sheffield Campaign Against Climate Change. I just want to remind people why we're here today with a few facts. So, 120,000 square kilometres of tropical forest were lost in 2018. Greenland lost 12.5 billion tonnes of ice within 24 hours earlier this year. And due to rising sea levels, Indonesia are moving its capital city from its current location, and its current one is sinking rapidly due to the rising sea levels. The government in the UK has declared a climate emergency, however they are yet to act, and that is why we are here today. Young people in the UK across the world are going to continue to strike and are going to continue to work for action until the government begins to act rather than just doing nothing. Firstly, I'd like to welcome all the stalls that are here today who've come to support us, and they'll be here as the afternoon goes on. We'd like to thank Friends of the Earth, who are over that way, or that way, that way. Okey-dokey. And they've got some of our local MPs here. At any point in the day, if you'd like to go and speak to them, this is your opportunity as a student to make your voice heard to the MPs of Sheffield. So please take this opportunity to go ask them questions and ask them why we are not doing anything.
Okay, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to, on this beautiful afternoon, the biggest strike in history! And I want to say a bit about who we're here for. We're here for the indigenous people who've been fighting to preserve their land and biodiversity for decades. We're here for the climate activists, some of whom are here today, who have been fighting to raise awareness of this crisis for decades. For the people who can't afford or haven't been allowed to be here. For our children and their children and all those whose futures are being stolen from them. For those in the global south whose lives are already being destroyed by climate breakdown. But guys, it's not been easy to get here. First, they told us one person couldn't make a difference. Well, Greta sat outside the Swedish Parliament and she proved them wrong. Then they told us young people don't care. Well, when we walked out of school in February, we proved them wrong. Then they told us what we do doesn't make a difference. But here we are, fighting back and proving them wrong! They told us we can't stop this crisis, but it doesn't look like that from where I'm standing. Thank you.
Our next speaker is also from Youth Strike for Climate, and it's Patrick. Would you like to come up, please?
Hi, I'm Patrick Wakefield. I'm a student at High Still School, and today I stand in solidarity with everyone here, as well as the millions of others taking action across the world. I think we can all agree that 12 years ago, the future did not look bright. We were seeing reports day in, day out about natural disasters, ecological breakdown, and skyrocketing carbon emissions and temperatures. And yet Parliament and our supposed leaders were completely ignoring the crisis. But on the 20th of August 2018, that all changed, because that was when Greta Thunberg decided enough was enough, and she was going to do something. Her school striking call to action resonated with millions of students and activists across the world, and in less than 6 months, hundreds of strikes were taking place each week, with school children everywhere fighting against the climate crisis. Now, we have seen the power that we all have when we stand together and fight for climate justice. We have learned the power of collective action and civil disobedience, and now we have brought hope for a better future back. It has become clear to us that relying on small lifestyle changes and the goodwill of the world leaders is no longer enough. If we want climate justice, we are going to have to take it, not wait for those responsible for its destruction to gift it to us. I also firmly believe that we will only get the changes we need if we are united. That is why it's so important that today we have brought the workers and the trade unions onto our side, alongside us in the fight. It is clear to me that workers and climate activists share a common enemy. It is those same bosses who are polluting the air, who are cutting wages, those same bosses who try to stop workers organising, who are burning fossil fuels, and it is those same bosses who workers have fought in the past that we can only defeat together. Because when we, the workers of today and the workers of tomorrow, stand together united, we are unstoppable. Now, I want to share a fact with you, and it is a fact that perfectly sums up the scale of crisis that we are facing, and it is one that should be ingrained in all of our minds when fighting. It is 100 fossil fuel companies are responsible for 71% of emissions since 1981. That means there is 100 businessmen and women who have single-handedly driven the climate crisis while knowing the consequences in order to fatten their pockets and to increase their wealth. They have stolen our future. Now these businessmen, they may have money, power, influence, but we are stronger than them because we are united, and that is where we will win. Now I would like to read a quote from the General Secretary of OPEC. OPEC is the organisation responsible for overseeing the majority of oil and petroleum exports around the world, and at its annual conference in July, Mohammed Barkindo, the Secretary General, said that Greta Thunberg and the climate strikers were the biggest threat to the fossil fuel industry going forward. Now, I'm sure on almost every other subject we would not agree, but on that I could not agree more with him, because we are strong, we are powerful, and when we stand together, united as one, like we are today, we are bloody unstoppable.
We're going to start the open mic now, so I'm going to ask the first student if you want to come up and say whatever you want.
Hello everybody, I'm Nugget Shaya from King Edward Year 8. And I just wanted to say I'm so proud of everybody that came here, because when we're together nothing is impossible. I am genuinely scared about the impact of climate change on ourselves and the next generation. So we protest here today so our politicians listen and stop to us, denying the dangers facing to us. Stop making money at the expense
Review Parliament for Sheffield West, and I'd just like to tell you about something today. So obviously, as we've said, the power of collective activism, the power of campaigning, and the power of us as the people is immense, and we can change our future and make it safe for our next generation. And I'd just like to let you know, if you are going to be out of education in the next few weeks and you are aged 11 to 18, add my Instagram, at Jude Daniel Smith, right? Yeah, wait for it. I have got ballot papers for the UK Youth Parliament Make Your Mark campaign. Their issues are going to be sort of campaigned on and debated in the House of Commons on November 8th. We are going to Parliament ourselves to talk about these issues. An issue on that ballot is to save our environment. And I would just like every single person here who can vote for it. You will either get it in school, or if you're not in school, please let me know. Start House, Sheffield Futures, they have all the ballots, so if you don't have Instagram, if you're below that age, you can go to Start House and you can get the ballots for yourself. They will all be counted. We got more than 1.1 million young people last year voting on it. And we just need that again. Together, we can stop this climate crisis. Once and all, honestly. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to read a message of support now from Sheffield National Education Union.
You are changing the attitude of trade unionists. You are bringing us out of the woodwork to support you. And it's that kind of inspiration that really can move forward. And I say to you this, you decided to use strike action, a good old trade union weapon. You decided to use the principle of unity and solidarity, a good trade union weapon. Together, fighting together, we can win this. We can really change for the better. I want you to know this message doesn't just come from the Sheffield Trade Union movement. A week ago, the TUC Congress was meeting in Brighton. It unanimously agreed a motion of support to the school students today and called on workers to take a 30-minute campaign action today in your support. I'll tell you something else. They also passed unanimously a motion on climate action calling for the renationalisation of our energy production and to convert it to green energy in the quickest possible time. We need, brothers and sisters, we need to transform our society. We cannot rely on capitalism and market forces to make the changes that are needed. We need to take public ownership of our energy and other forms of production. We need to stop fracking, stop it dead. We need to make sure we have a municipal company here in Sheffield producing green energy on a not-for-profit basis. We need to be investing in our public transport and getting people out of their cars. We need to be insulating people's homes. We need to be building a whole new generation of council houses that are zero emission. We could be doing this with the next Labour government under Jeremy Corbyn, putting people back to work, creating good trade union jobs, making a fairer society whilst we also fight climate change. Another world is possible, and uniting the students and the workers and civil society together, we can make that change, and today is the start of it. Thank you everybody for coming. Let's come on the fight together.
Climate change was first discovered in the 19th century, and it's been used for more than 30 years now, and protests have been held for just as long. And yet, the Amazon is burning. The ice caps are melting and the sea levels are rising. It's as if humanity remains ignorant. It has long passed the time for ignorance. The time for action was years ago, but at this point it is literally now or never. Ecocide is no longer an accident, it is a crime, and it will kill us if we do not fight back now and fight back hard. Our house is on fire, and we have to do something about it. But how? How
defiance and by taking this fight to those with the power to genuinely change things. This fight belongs to us all, and it will be a battle that goes down in history. And we decide now what is written there. We will not be remembered for our apathy and our eventual defeat. Let us be remembered for our battle and our compassion and our victory.
Hello everyone, I'm Ashlyn, I'm from High Stores. I'm just going to say, this issue is not an issue that will affect my generation only. It will affect all generations now and all generations to come. It has already started to affect the poorest people in the world, the ones least responsible for this issue. We also are starting to feel the worst effects of it, with more extreme weather events affecting us every year. Since the 1880s, the climate temperature has risen by about 1 degree C, which is already more than it should have, just from our influence. The effects of us and the wildlife have already been very bad. When will they realise it has to stop? When will they realise that it's gone too far? This whole movement was started by one person solo striking in their own country. If one person could do this, then imagine what we're all doing here together today. Alone we are strong, but together we are stronger!
Talk about climate change. We are all here today to tell the people in positions of power that we want a future, and ensuring the stability of our future isn't something that they can leave aside, because there will come a day when they can't deny it, and they will be forced to accept that they were ignorant, and I don't want to be the one that feels the repercussions. When I was 14 years old, a substitute teacher refused to teach me about climate change because she didn't believe in it. And I don't know if she's here today, I don't know if she's changed her mind, but I actually want to say thank you, because I went home that day and I researched and I made my decision, and my decision is here, standing here today in front of Sheffield City Hall and talking about climate change. My decision is to stand with the science and the scientists that are presenting these facts to us. My decision is to take a day off school to ensure that the future that they're preparing me for is livable. When we are growing up, we are always told to be the change that we see in the world, that we want to see in the world. And that is what I'm doing here today. And I've seen so many amazing placards there. Can you all hold them up? I want to see my favorite ones. Wow. Why do they have to pay? True. Do it for David!
Hey everyone! I'm Isabel. I'm a year 10 at Meadowhead, and I'm from Youth Strike for Climate. As I stand here, I'm so proud to say that I'm a youth striker. So often, as young people, we're told that we are lazy and we don't do enough to contribute to society. But looking at the crowd in front of me, I think we can safely say that stereotype is false. For over a year, Greta Thunberg has been striking outside Swedish Parliament every Friday. At the beginning, she was alone. Now, she has millions of students, teachers, workers, parents, and everything in between behind her. The most important thing about being here is that we are united. In this time of chaos, we have to forget any differences that separate us. We need to show solidarity across generations, and that's why we're here. We have a long way to go to achieve climate justice, but I think by being here, with this much support, we've come a long way already.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm in Year 12 in King Edward's. I think you've all noticed how hot it is today, and in fact, this year was the longest and hottest heat wave in English history, with highs of almost 40 degrees Celsius, potentially even higher than that. I know, it was hotter than Meadowhall Interchange at the beginning of August. Right, in Paris, France, there was a high of over 45 degrees Celsius. People were barbecuing their own food on car bonnets, the roads were melting, and people were being admitted to hospital, and even dying from the heat exhaustion. The longer we keep burning coal, oil, fossil fuels, we will be trapping even more greenhouse gases in the environment, in the atmosphere, and that just doesn't mean the increase in temperature. In 2013, a 9-year-old girl in southeast London died from a cause simply noted as pollution. The rates of nitrogen dioxide were at a peak on that day, and she had a fatal asthma attack and died. And even before this, she was having harmful seizures, and she had been affected for years before her unfortunate disease. And this has been going on for way too long. We're boiling like lobsters in a big climate soup that's 0.0000001 of the population. 7 zeros created, and we were inhaling the fumes in the process. What we've all done today is incredible, and changing the history itself. I'm not a member of the committee at all, but thank you for putting your time aside to come here and make a stand. Many people still don't believe in us, and probably many people's mothers and fathers probably don't believe in us either, but we're still here, and we will rise and change the tide, literally. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael. Year 10 from King Edward. I'd first like to apologise for not preparing anything before I came up. Second off, to sound like a council girl. And third off, not being able to read my own handwriting. When I was walking up here, I was thinking to myself, we'll talk about future generations dying because of what we're doing, but let me ask this. Have you ever seen a dying child? I'm talking about a child gripping onto the edge of their life with needles as big as their arms. Because I have. Let me tell you, it's so much worse than you ever think it would be. I'm not a scientist by any means, but let me tell you, if we continue on the rate we are, we'll see so many more kids' lives seized. And they won't just be in hospital, they'll be everywhere because we are too many to deal with. I mean, we've all seen those articles, right? The ones talk about how plastic gives you cancer. I don't know if they have any credibility at all, but what I say is that getting rid of all plastic from my life is all it takes under it. Because trust me, I was one of those children, and you don't want to be one. If you don't want it done to yourself, don't fucking do it to the children. Sorry. A little less than a year, I think it'll be 25 days, I'll be happy to celebrate 1 year of chemotherapy, and for some other children I was with then weren't so lucky. We need a chemo for climate change, and just like chemo, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be quick. It will be painful, it will be slow, but we can get through. We can get through because there are so many people here that will go through it with you. They will support you and they will be there, and that's how we will do it.